Hi friends, welcome on YourPedia. And as you know, YourPedia is a dedicated platform if you want to prepare for any kind of exam related to environment. Now, for engineering professionals, so many jobs keep on coming in the domain of environment. Every state pollution control board is to advertise minimum 20, 25, 30, 40, 50 seats in every state as per NGT and as per Supreme Court guidelines. And that is what you are seeing, that now for environment engineers, environment scientist, junior environment engineer, assistant environment engineer, environment scientific officer, or these kind of profiles, every state is coming out with number of seats. This video is related to Telangana State Pollution Control Board, Andhra State Public Service Commission, Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission, and jobs of assistant environment engineer for these two states. Now, Telangana has just released notification for, I believe, 19 seats, and Andhra Pradesh, the notification is going to come on 15th of August. The good thing is, for both these two states, the syllabus is exactly same. Non-technical paper 1 syllabus is different, otherwise syllabus is same. I'll discuss with you that. Plus friends, if you are seriously preparing for this job, you can trust YourPedia and the mentors to guide you very well for this particular exam. So our entire this syllabus of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana State Pollution Control Board will be complete. We are going to complete this entire syllabus soon. We are going to complete this by the 20th, by 10th of August, not 20th, 10th of August. Some topics of Andhra Pradesh we have already, this module is running. I'll show you that. So this topics we have already covered, a couple of topics, and some topics we are, now it is, I think, visible to you. Yeah, no, if it is visible to you, please check this. We are running this module for Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission. Engineering material, air, noise, water, soil pollution, these are complete now. For the last 1 month we are running it. So these topics will be covered to you, but once other topics are done. So your batch and Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission Assistant Environment Engineer batch will be running parallel. Syllabus is exactly same. Like my today's topic, I'll be teaching you. That topic is also common because the syllabus is common, so we are going to give you the same. Books will also be provided to you. Now these topics immediately you are going to get. These topics will also be covered again for those who are joining now, and but first other topics are covered. Now from 8th June, let me give you the syllabus for you. This is there for you. That is from tomorrow. First this Manpreet ma'am's class is there, and then fluid mechanics is there, and then solid waste management is there. So different mentors: data interpretation Manpreet ma'am, fluid mechanics Prabjot sir, solid waste management Sushant sir is going to take. From Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I have ecosystem class. These 3 classes I'm going to take, and then solid waste management. So this is how the classes are going to be scheduled for you. So this is this week's schedule, 8th June to 14th June. So when you join for the preparation with YourPedia, you get weekly schedule in the your WhatsApp group. So that weekly schedule is provided to you. You can see that schedule and you can prepare accordingly. So we are going to complete Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, this entire thing, before 15th August. That is, we have kept date 10th August for completion of it. So Andhra Pradesh is going to come notification 15th August. Before that we are going to complete it, and we are going to provide you books for both Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Paper 1, paper 2 books will be provided to you. So now let me start with my today's lecture, friends, and today's lecture is related to one of the topics which I am going to cover for you. So let me tell you, this is the Telangana Public Service Commission. Notification comes for 19 seats, assistant environment engineers. So age is 44 years. So 10th June form filling will start till 17th of July. So you can fill the form. This is the pattern of the exam. So 150 questions non-technical, 150 question your technical, that is environment syllabus. General studies, general ability, 150 question, 150 marks. 150 questions, 300 marks, that is for your environment syllabus. Now this is Andhra Pradesh. Job calendar has come. Lot of number of seats, many other number of seats are also there. And assistant environment engineer, 40 number of seats are declared here. So again, the pattern is going to be same, written pattern is going to be same. Now coming to non-technical part, friends, for Telangana, Public Service Commission exam of Assistant Environment Engineer. This is the non-technical syllabus. So non-technical syllabus has these 15 topics, and very small difference in the non-technical is there for Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So if you can see, obviously current affairs and current issues related to Andhra Pradesh will be there. In Telangana, the issues will be related to Telangana, history, polity, geography, those kind of topics will be covered. So Andhra Pradesh and Telangana paper 1 may be different. Now when we come to technical part, that is environment domain, then the syllabus for Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are same. Now if you can see the syllabus of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, it is going to be same. So this subject has different topics, and I'm going to start from ecosystem, that is from tomorrow. But this lecture is just informative lecture and at the same time covering one topic for you. And today I have started from one of the very important topics, that is Earth Summit. So chronologically from global legislative things which you have not studied in your college, I'll start from that topic. So that is global legislation, and in the global legislation, international laws, the most important law is Earth Summit, Rio de Janeiro Summit 1992. So whatever you know today, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, Conference of Parties, Kyoto Protocol, Sustainable Development Goals, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. So all these things which you talk today, these all find the root in Earth Summit, that is Rio de Janeiro Summit 1992. I'll be discussing about that. So I'll be telling you one of the very effective way to learn. That is where YourPedia helps you. I mean, you learn a couple of things, you make some kind of understanding. Moreover, this is no notes making module. That means you are not to make notes. You have to take this printout and read it. The teacher will explain to you, you will understand that, and then you will just note down the things and do question practice. One very effective way which we have identified is to make things learn is tabular content. So we make very effective tables, obviously with the help of AI. When we give the content to AI will give you some kind of easy to remember tactics, and that we provide to you so that you can prepare easily and your preparation is easily done. Yes, so Rio de Janeiro Summit 1992. So this Earth Summit which we call, that is what I'm going to discuss today in today's class. This is called Earth Summit, and we are going to cover this in today's class. So what is Earth Summit? Let me tell you friends something about it, and then we go forward. It is one of the very important summit. So this is one of the initial starting point. When we said 1992, can you tell me which century is 1992? It is 20th century. And after some years, which century was going to start? In 2000, that is 21st century. So we were preparing for 21st century, and that is a reason there is Agenda 21. So in environment, you will be listening about two agenda. Agenda 21, that means we are preparing for 21st century. That means we are going to enter into 21st century, and we want to focus on protection of the environment, and we want to fight with global problems like climate change in 21st century. That is where Agenda 21 term was born in Earth Summit, in Rio Summit. Another thing we hear is Agenda 2030. Now Agenda 2030, this term was born in Paris Agreement. There is an agreement in Paris that was in 2015, and there it was decided that by 2030 we will basically be completing sustainable development goals. There are 17 sustainable development goals. We want to achieve these goals, like climate change. We will protect, basically take care of climate change, will take care of clean water, poverty, hunger, all these things. So there are 17 goals. So what is the date to complete those 17 goals? That is 2030, and that is the reason it is called Agenda 30. So if somebody asks you what is Agenda 21, you'll say in 21st century we want to take care of environment. We talked that in Rio Summit. What is Agenda 30? Sir, we want to complete sustainable development goals which are 17 in number by 2030. So these two things you should know. Now Earth Summit 1992, which is in Brazil. There is a place, Rio de Janeiro. It took place there. 178 countries participated, their heads, their chiefs, head of the governments and all, they participated, and it was biggest gathering that time, reflecting the gravity of the situation. So before that people were not talking much about protection of the environment and all. But after this, people started thinking that yes, we need to think of environment also. We are, global warming is there, climate change is there, all these things. And then something was born in Rio Summit, which is very, very relevant. United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. This organization was born, this platform was born. And the duty and responsibility of this platform was to conduct conference of parties every year, almost every year, conference of parties. So this term parties is not that party which you enjoy, it is like countries, nations, conference of nations. That means countries will participate, like India also participates, other countries participate. So these countries will come together every year, discuss that where we have reached, what we have done for environment. That is called conference of parties. So conference of parties, almost 31 parties conference we have done so far. Some are very, very important, like Kyoto Protocol, Paris Agreement, Doha Agreement, Glasgow. They are very, very important. We will be discussing about that. And that is also part of your syllabus. But yes, it was born. United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change was born, and the purpose of that was to conduct, conferences every year there. It was not like 1992 was the first when the world started talking about environment. Two more very, very important, conferences I'll be discussing with you. Two very, very important are, one is Stockholm Conference. We will be talking about, and Brundtland Commission report we will be talking about, in which sustainable development definition was created. So these were two predecessors. I'll not say predecessor, but yes, these gave rise to what we did later on in 1992. So before 1992, yes, 1972 we were talking about something, and about the environment. 1987 we were talking about that, and 1992 came. That is how this entire thing evolved. So let's now step in, friends, and let's try to understand this. What is the official name of Earth Summit, which is there in your syllabus? When did it take place? Sir, it took place in 1992. It took place in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, and this name of this is United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. So in United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNCED, UN Conference on CD, that is the name of this. And it was the turning point actually, because we started talking about the environmental issues. It was the first time we started talking about the environmental issues. So this conference is called Rio Summit, it is called Earth Summit, it is called United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. When did it take place? 1992. Okay, so what was so special about this summit? So answer is, many times exam mein question will come, what is the exact date when it took place? So 3rd June to 14th June. Sometimes very, very exact questions come. 3rd to 14th June, this conference was there. And how many countries participated? 178 countries participated. Also, something very, very interesting was civil society and NGOs were also participating in that. It was not that only countries and governments are participating. NGOs and civil societies were also participating, because environment is the domain, or this is something which everybody is concerned about and everybody should be concerned about. So everybody was talking about environment. Now, who was the Secretary General of this conference? Maurice Strong, the person who was champion of 1972 Stockholm Conference. And he called Rio Summit as historic moment for humanity. So the question is, who was Secretary General of Rio Summit? And the fellow Maurice Strong is basically he conducted this conference 1972, one of the first conference conducted for environment, Stockholm Conference 1972. And who conducted that? Maurice Strong. And Rio Summit, who was the Secretary General? Maurice Strong. And what Maurice Strong said about this Earth Summit? Historic moment for humanity. Now, let's go to the initial organization, 1972, 1987. So, Rio de Janeiro took place in 1992, but the roots were in 1972, United Nations Conference on Human Environment. So, that is the name of this Stockholm Conference. Stockholm is in Sweden. United Nations Conference on Human Environment. So, this was the first major effort on the environment. So, somebody asks you, what was the first international conference done on environment? So that was not Earth Summit, that was Stockholm Conference. That was United Nations Conference on Human Environment in Stockholm. So first conference on environment was Stockholm Conference. Now, Brundtland Commission report, I don't know how to pronounce it, friends, but this is the spelling you can see. So, Our Common Future 1987. So, why this commission report is very famous? Because it defined what is sustainable development. Now, this term, all of you know this term, all of you listen this term. We have sustainable development goal 17 in number. We know what is sustainable development. We heard this term. But what is the definition? Original definition of sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So that is the definition which was given in Brundtland report 1987. So before Rio there was, we'll say sir, there was Stockholm Conference, which was the first conference on environment, and then there was this report 1987. Okay. Let's go to objective of Rio Summit. So the urgent environmental issues like climate change, deforestation and loss of biodiversity, Convention on Biodiversity was also signed in this. So we wanted to discuss about this. So the objective of Rio Summit was, let's talk about this: climate change, deforestation and biodiversity loss. Okay, let's promote sustainable development. Okay, and let's address the global environmental problems. Okay, so let's create the principles and the norms for planning, development planning and environmental problems. And the most important thing was NGO and civil societies related to environmental domain were also included in this entire process. So that is how it was. So objective of Rio Summit was to talk about climate change, environmental issues, deforestation, these kind of things. Let's bring NGOs together, civil society together. Let's talk about biodiversity. Let's talk about principles and norms which we are to create, and we are to make a balance between developmental activities into environment, into social things. So that is how Rio was basically talking about. So some exam perspective important points. How many countries participated? So 178 nations. United Nations has almost 190 some countries, 193 or something. So almost every country participated. So what were the legally binding treaties? What treaties were signed? These two: Convention on Biological Diversity and United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. These two were signed. Okay, so Agenda 21, which was not binding, but it was having some influence. So it introduced Agenda 21. There was a term called Principle of Common but Differential Responsibilities. Now, what is this CBDR? Principle of Common but Differential Responsibilities. Principle of Common but Differentiated Responsibilities. Now, that means every country, state here means country, has a responsibility to protect environment, but the countries are divided in the world in two main broad categories. One is developed countries, United States, Europe and all, developing countries, India and all. So the responsibility of developed country is more to protect environment. You know why? Because they have only polluted environment. Even now they are using carbon for their luxury. Countries like India, where there is a lot of poverty, are not using carbon for their luxury, they are using carbon for survival. So whenever we burn carbon, it is to help our people and their socio-economic development. We help our people, our citizens for their socio-economic development. So the responsibilities of the developed countries are more than responsibility of developing country to protect environment. That is called common but differential responsibility. So this term was coined in Rio Summit. You understand that? So Agenda 21 means, okay, let's talk about how 21st century we are going to take care of our environment. That is called Agenda 21. Again, that was talked about in Kyoto, this Earth Summit. Right? So developing country have different responsibilities, and this is what is the term which was discussed there. So in Rio Summit, 27 principles were discussed. There are 27 principles which we talked about in Rio Summit. So I don't think so in your objective in your exams he's going to ask about the principle, but still, what is principle 1, what is principle 2, what is principle 3, how many principles we talked about, those kind of things you should be aware. Principle 1 is like role of human being as the center of development. So whenever you are making the development, whenever you are doing the economic development, it should be socio-economic development, like people should be at the center stage. So that is principle number 1. Principle number 2, right? So natural resources belong to people, I mean to the sovereign states. Like no private individual should exploit the natural resources like forest, like minings. That should not go to private individual only. That state government should have right on that. Now women, youth and indigenous knowledge for sustainable development and eradication of the poverty was also focused. Okay, this is intergenerational equity. I mean first generation, second generation, third generation, like my father, whatever resources he enjoyed, I should enjoy the similar resources, my kid should enjoy the similar resources. That is called intergenerational, one generation to another generation equity. So principle 1, principle 2, principle 3, these are the couple of principles here, right? So these were some of the principles. How many total principles Rio Summit, Rio principles? There are 27 principles. What is principle 1, what is principle 2, that you should know. Agenda 21 is basically the plan for sustainable development for 21st century. That is called Agenda 21. So Agenda 21 is all about that, and it was step towards policies. So it is Agenda 21 is talking about socio-economic developments. So in 21st century, how do you want development to be? We want the development to take care of 3 parallel things. What are these? So these 3 should be parallelly focused. What? We should economic development, okay, roads we have to develop, but that should be social development, people should be at the center, and we should not spoil environment. So the development should be balanced between economic development, it should be social development, it should be environmental protection. So socio-economic, environmental, three pillars of sustainable development. When you focus on these 3, then the development becomes sustainable development. That means you are taking care of the economic development. Obviously we have to make roads, we have to cut the trees sometime for economic activities, but at the same time people should not suffer. That is, the society should also, their interest should be taken care of. That is social development. And third is environment should not be polluted. So environmental aspect also. If you focus these 3 aspects, then your development is a sustainable development. That is what we thought of plan for sustainable development. So somebody asks you what is sustainable development. There are 2 ways to tell that. One is the definition which was given in 1987 in Brundtland report, that future generations' interest should not be compromised. And another thing is, sir, when we do the development, it should be social development, it should be economic development, it should be environmental protection. That is how we say it, right? So resources should be conserved, and role of people should be involved. How to implement that should be focused. We talk about environmental impact assessment nowadays. So think globally, act locally. That basically phrase was given. Think globally, act locally. That also was given here. What were the treaties signed? What were the environmental treaties signed? United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So every year, we are having a conference of parties. So like Kyoto Protocol in 1997, Paris Agreement in 2015. That is what we are going to discuss. They are very, very important. So these 2 we are going to discuss later on. Convention on Biological Diversity, CBT, Convention on Biological Diversity. So that is conservation of biodiversity. That is also, these were the treaties signed in Earth Summit. What is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change? It is an international treaty. It created, it is to take care of the global warming, greenhouse gas emission, climate change, and it entered into force. Though it was established in Earth Summit 1992, but it came into force in 1994. You should know that. And it is basically the framework for global climate negotiations. So when we talk about Paris Agreement 2015 or Kyoto Protocol 1997 or Doha Agreement, or whatever we call it. So United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change actually is the platform where these discussions take place. What is the significance of Rio Summit, Earth Summit? So it basically put forth the agenda of sustainable development. The term sustainable development was not coined in this, but we started talking about sustainable development. The balance between these three, as I told you, sustainable development was talked about. So global environmental governance, countries started talking about the environment protection. So participation of NGOs and civil society was another its contribution. So we started talking about all this. As I told you, friend, the best way to prepare for any kind of exam is through very concise and precise content, and tabular content by YourPedia is the example of that. So you have to remember like this. So what is the name of official name of Rio Summit? Sir, it is UNCED. Okay. What is the popular name? This. Where was the venue? Okay. I mean, exam mein objective type questions are framed from here. How many countries participated? Who was the Secretary General? Okay. Which dates? Okay. Which country? Okay. What is its name? That is from where the questions are framed. Okay. Now, Stockholm Conference 1972, Brundtland Report 1987, and this is something which was talked about, right? So this is how it is. Objective of Rio Earth Summit is basically environmental protection, sustainable development, international cooperation, environmental governance, public participation. This is what the objective of this entire thing was, right? So outcome of Rio Summit was like this is Rio Declaration, 27 principles, Agenda 21, Blueprint of Sustainable Development in 21st Century. So United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So this is something which was the outcome of Rio Summit. Okay, now after this, once you've gone through this, friends, then there are objective type questions, and the more you practice objective type questions, more you will be prepared. And one more thing, when YourPedia, you will get the content. Typically one lecture, at least my lecture will be half an hour to 45 minutes lecture, not more than that. I keep it very concise, precise, strongly supported by a lot of quality content where you do not get extra content than what is required, followed by easy to remember tricks and tabular content or diagrams or something like that, and then some very important questions which you may come across in your exams, like previous year questions of Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission and all. So wherever we have got previous questions from these topics, they are provided to you. So a lot of previous year questions reference source is there with YourPedia, so they will provide you from Earth Summit for these kind of State Pollution Control Board exams. Now, it is not a UPSC exam, it is not a Public Service Commission exam, it is the exam by State Pollution Control Board, though it is conducted by Public Service Commission maybe. But what kind of questions can be framed from for the level of this exam, those questions are provided to you. So many times you will find the questions asking or explaining you the concept which is not taught in the theory. So theory will give you gist of that, but in the questions you may get some more information, additional information, and you have to do that. So once you go for that additional information, maybe your entire topic will be complete. And third, YourPedia, from the very beginning, when the mentors will start teaching you, from the very beginning you are provided the test also. So regular testing is a part of YourPedia. So you will be tested simultaneously along with, like, when the moment we complete this topic, then along with the topics you are provided the test series also, so that from the very beginning you start going for the test and you start developing the confidence for this. So this was a very brief topic, friends, and it was for your one of the topics related to Earth Summit. So in my opinion, you should feel motivated for your exam, friends. So serving in your state government, in your government, in in the capacity of assistant environment engineer is a wonderful opportunity for you. For the students of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, this is a wonderful opportunity. So from tomorrow, that is 8th June, the schedule I have already provided you, and now start learning with the mentors. You will be there in the WhatsApp group. In case I think some link with this video will be published on YouTube, join those WhatsApp group and we'll share content in those WhatsApp group for you. All the very best. Thank you.